つらするな。大丈夫だ。ごめん。なあ、ユウくん、それなら戻ってこいよ。僕らは同じ夢を追う仲間だろ。今度はうまくいくさ。もう遅い。俺の仲間はクローバーだ。サンダーパイクじゃない。
So I always keep it 100 with you guys, and when it comes to I left my A-rank party, this was episode 5, I think this was the first boring episode of the season. Now, to be clear, I don't think it was really bad per se, but I think the biggest up, or the biggest, like the best part of the episode was definitely Yuke and the girls finding a place to live, and then Yuke getting told by the girls in a realization that, hey, we're buying this place for us as a party. We're not buying it for us 3 girls. We're buying it for us as a party, which includes Yuke. And of course, he went on some big tangent about how, you know, he's a man and he can't live with girls or whatever. But they immediately squashed that because they're like, you know, we camp out all the time and you're with us, you're sleeping next to us, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, yeah, dude, like, it makes no sense. Like, the fact that you are a grown man and you can't, like, you're basically telling, like, I might not be able to control myself, you know, is super silly. I understand if you're, like, some, like, teenage adolescent boy who's, like, you know, gonna pop off at every second, but it's just, it was a silly concept to me. But regardless, it solidified them getting their place, finally achieving a goal that's not only what the girls, the girls, that's what their goal was originally, and they kind of transferred that goal over once Yuke joined the party, and they finally have accomplished their first real goal. Now, the next goal is the achromatic darkness, which is the Abyss Gate, which is Yuke's ultimate goal, is he wants to get to this you know, mythological point that no adventure's gone before kind of thing. And his dream's gonna come true in a very weird way as well. So don't get me wrong, the episode definitely was a big setup to get Yuke to the achromatic darkness, to get him one step closer to investigate the Abyss Gate and all of that. And it was also a good turning point, or a good page turner to him closing the chapter on the Thunder Pike, which was his previous, what do you call it? His previous partners, his previous party. So it was a good setup episode, but it just wasn't like super entertaining, right? Like his fight with the, what's his name? Simon? Spencer? Simon? I think his name's Simon. But the leader of the Thunder Pike, you know, his fight there in the crowd with them. Like, the best thing about that was him holding hands with Rain after. So the actual fight is like, it's dumb, it's silly, it's whatever. And the Thunder Pike with a constant infatuation with the fact that it's Yuke that left them, not the fact that they made this dude quit, is stupid. So I think that was a silly thing. Yeah. And then the other big part of the episode was they also introduced Nene, or Nini, or Nene, which is like a fox girl, beast girl of some kind. And essentially, she's going to be the scout of the party. So the next thing this episode did was it solidified the 4th girl, which we've been wondering, you know, she's been part of the ED for a while. So it's like, okay, when is she going to be part of the episode, or was she going to be part of the anime? And essentially that got solidified as well too. So that was a good part. So don't get me wrong. Again, like, just to be very clear, it set up a few different things, right? It set up that they finally achieved a goal. It set up that they finally got a home. It set up their first, like, dinner together. It set up that they got a TV and they're streaming. It set up the closed chapter for Thunder Pike, and the Thunder Pike trying to get him back by appealing to Yuke's dream. And it solidified our new team member, and it solidified the fact that the king has a lot of trust in them because them and the guildmaster are giving them a specific quest to go and do the achromatic darkness and go, you know, check out the stampedes and stuff that have been happening within the world. So it solidified. It's just the journey getting there, right? It's always like, when I talk about shows, right, I'm telling you all the things that happen in an episode. Sometimes it can sound like, oh, well, it sounds like you really liked it. But it's one of those things to where it's like, yeah, a lot of things happen, but the journey, or like the time to get there, or the way that they conveyed the info was just kind of like, it was a little snoozy. It was a little like, I felt like that's how I love. Like, that's how it was. It was like, it was fine. Like, it was very 6 out of 10. And take that for what it is, you know? I like that Yuke's relationship with Rain is getting closer. I think he is, she's number one girl, I believe. Obviously, they're all going to want a piece of Yuke at some point, but I think Rain is the one leading the charge there if you're looking for any kind of romantic interest, which I don't think there's really going to be any true romantic interest. But hey, it's a 24 episode season, so there's always a chance. And that's the last thing I want to talk about, is when we get these mild episodes it is a 24 episode season. So hopefully, we get more highs than lows. So that's the thing that we can hang our hat on is this is one of those shows that's going to be a very long running one. But because how do you say it? The current air or the current trend of animes is to be shorter. When we get longer ones, first off, I'm thrilled, but then I'm also very cautious because there was an anime called A Couple of Cuckoos, and that anime, it stretched every single episode, every topic, everything, and it still didn't end after 24 episodes. That left me so scarred that I am excited when the show's gonna be long running, but then I'm also extremely cautious because of such a time waster. And it's 50-50 to know. So that's the thing. So I am optimistically cautious. That's all I want to say. This episode was 6 out of 10. It was very fine. I thought it established some really good things, but the way we got there to the tail end of the credits was a little bit boring. Yeah, that's okay. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Let me tell me I'm wrong. Tell me how much you loved it, or tell me how much you hated it, or tell me if you agree or kind of agree. Let me know in the comments. And I'll see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your weekend.